Hey everybody, this is Vijay, your host. So today I'm going to talk about the AI networking, and which is very hot topic nowadays. And what exactly is AI networking is? Uh, AI networking has multiple form actually. So who are the vendor which who supports the AI networking, and what are the jobs in the market we have, right? So AI networking is if you have a traditional network experience, for example, Cisco, Juniper, Aruba, Arista, these are the switches, these are the routers, these are the vendors who sell the router and switches, right, for the data center and campus networking. Now, the challenges of the current data center and the devices which they have is these devices are compatible with the monolithic applications, right? When I say the monolithic applications, it means what's your throughput, what's your latency requirement, okay? Uh, Currently, you expect like 1 Gbps or 10 Gbps of the speed, right? Your VM, you expect that. Now, the modern data center, which is having a high voltage of storage, high application throughput requirement, plus, like for example, Chat GPT. What is the Chat GPT? Chat GPT is applications which is also having a backend storage. So between the Chat GPT application and storage, you need higher bandwidth and low latency requirement. Okay, in order to achieve that kind of requirement from the data center, from the on-prem or cloud, you need to have a certain type of devices, right? What are those devices are? Those devices, because currently our traditional devices come with the non-GPU CPU, okay? So all the new devices, AI devices, now they are started coming with the GPU model. Instead of CPU, along with the CPU, they are coming with the GPU model. What the GPU provides and make that device special. Those devices are now having a high performance computing compatibility. Okay, when I say the high performance compute compatibility, it means those devices will have a ultra low latency of between the port to port and between the device to devices. Okay, because GPU is the only one which can read the trillion packet or multi-billion packet per seconds, right? Those devices, even Cisco offers the multi-billion packet per seconds packet switching, right? But what is the missing in the Cisco devices? Like for example, Cisco ACI 9000, right? These devices are still too much capable of handling the packet, multi-billion packet per seconds. However, the latency is a main factor over here. Okay, so nowadays vendors are approaching to create the hardware with the GPU, which has ultra low latency in a microseconds, not in a not sorry, not microseconds. It says sub-seconds. Okay, those devices now available in the market, you need to study those devices, though the protocols and other things will be same, but still we have to study those devices, how this GPU works, what type of special protocols compatible on those devices. And in the market, if you see that in the market we have job also listed for those kind of requirement. If you see here, network consulting engineer, these are the actual requirement from the data center. So you see that VXLAN you should know, plus AI data center networking. Network consultant for the VXLAN and AI data center consultant. These are the requirement. If you see that, what is the network skill set is required? You see that VXLAN, you should be knowing that. ACI, you should be knowing that. If you having Arista experience, that's also fine, because Cisco and Arista also they having ultra low latency switches, though they do not have a GPU based, but they still having those kind of devices, right? You see here the deep understanding of AI specific needs along with the RoCE V2. What is the RoCE is? RoCE is the protocol which is especially designed for the GPU based devices. If you go for the Nvidia devices, because Nvidia is now also in the market with their data center switches. layer 2, layer 3 switches. Now they are competitor of the Cisco and Arista and Aruba devices. Okay, so they also sell the nowadays these AI based or GPU based devices, right? What is the high qualification requirement? Look here. Nowadays, if you see that NVIDIA networking is also coming in the picture. So NVIDIA is also having some level of certification, just like a CCNA, CCNP. You can study in NVIDIA networking, and you can attempt the exam also. This is the one of the requirement of the AI based jobs. You need to have a automation, very good automation experience. Okay, it's not required. You should be learning the Python or specific language, whichever language you're comfortable with that. Especially, you should be very good at operating the tools, because these nowadays even codeless uh, uh, automation is also in the market. You do not need to learn each and every traditional way of coding, but you should be knowing that syntax and all the basic of the net automation, right? Right. So let's go for the, because Cisco we already have discussed what is the Cisco is. What is the this session is I'm going to totally focus on the NVIDIA networking. Okay. When I say the NVIDIA networking, NVIDIA has its own network devices. If you see that this is the devices that accelerate Ethernet switching for the AI and cloud environment. Because if you see that the Azure, Amazon, Google, these are the vendors who having a GPU. They are also offering the GPUs, right? And GPU based computes. Where they are connecting, they cannot connect GPU based compute with the CPU, Intel CPU based compute network switches. They need to have ultra low latency switches, which can operate or cooperate and work together, and should be able to manage all these billion packet per second of 400 gigabyte per second, 100 gigabyte per second of packet, right? So they also sometimes use the NVIDIA networking, some other vendor switches also. So NVIDIA has a switches, we call that a Spectrum switch. Okay, that spectrum switch. So NVIDIA has multiple actually switches in the market. It depends on the throughput and model. NVIDIA, this is for example, they offer the hardware Ethernet switches. These switches are capable of layer 2, layer 3 both, just like a Cisco Nexus devices. Cisco Nexus 9000. They can act as a leaf. They can act as a spine also. They have NVIDIA Spectrum A6. Okay, and what is the operating system NVIDIA support? It's called that NOS, which is a network operating system. Okay, which is consist of the NVIDIA Comuls and the pure Sonic. Sonic is the pure open source operating system, Linux based. Okay, then we have NVIDIA solution tools, which is running on top of the operating system. So this is your architecture of the internal switches, right? You have hardware. On top of the hardware, you have ASICs. On the ASICs, you have a operating system. On the operating system, you are running the tools, just like a protocols, layer 2, layer 3 protocols. Okay. Now, if you go for the what are the hardwares they offers, right? So if I go to the hardware, they have multiple hardware, right? So they have a hardware such as, if I go to the data center, if I search here, where is the search option? Spectrum. Okay, so they have multiple hardware switches, and they start with the N-Link also. N-Link is another switch model they have. If I go to the products, yeah, look here, Spectrum switch, and this is the high-end switches, which is a 1 gigabit to 800 gigabyte per seconds port you have. Okay, and these are the some specification, connect ASICs, all these things. If I go to the specific to the model and go to the here, um, here, yeah, this is the application model number. How Linux is parallelly running with the complex switches. If I go for the exploring the hardware, so I'm taking that one example. Hardware is SN3000. So currently, Nvidia has SN4000 also, SN5000, SN6000 also. But for now, for this session, I'm going to take a look about and discuss about the SN3000 series switches. Okay, these switches are designed for the small data center, and where you have like few compute nodes, and yeah, you are trying to run that your GPU based compute nodes in the data center. Okay, they are capable of handling the SDN features such as like VPN, VXLAN, EVPN based topology, layer 2, layer 3, all the protocols, along with the RoCE. RoCE is this NVIDIA specific GPU specific protocols, which is totally designed for these kind of devices. Okay. Now, if you go to the Google and search the RoCE, right? RoCE is the, if I go to the, or if I just say that RoCE V2. This is the version 2. If you see that here, what is exactly is it's a remote direct access over the Ethernet. What is saying that? Remote direct memory access over the Ethernet. This is the protocol name. And I will be discussing about this protocol in the practical session where I will be showing that a lot of yeah, practicals with the devices, NVIDIA devices. If you see that what are the benefits of using is where you have a high throughput and low latency requirement, this protocol is the key to establish all this kind of traffic because BGP, OSPF, these are the low they are high latency protocols. Okay, they cannot operate multi-billion packets per seconds if you have a GPU in the hardware. So this protocol is especially designed for the GPU base and the ultra low latency for the environment. Okay. Now, if you talk about these switches, we have multiple models here. This is the open Ethernet switch where we have a Spectrum switches also we call that, and we have like 3700 model where we have a 32 200 gig ports. Okay, and total throughput of this device is 6.4 terabyte per second. This switch can handle it, and it's huge. What is the 8.33 billion per packet per second this switch can handle it, right? And it has very huge GPU space, memory space, all these things. If you see that the C model number where we have these many specification, SX model number, 4 uh, 3400 model number where you have multiple 100 gig ports. When it comes to the high availability, we have like dual power supply, just like a traditional one. So remaining, if you compare with the Cisco and non-Cisco devices with the NVIDIA, the remaining features are mostly same. So you do not need to worry about like everything is changing. You have hardware specification, remaining specifications are same. Just operating system and RoCE protocol is the two key feature which makes these devices unique. Okay, you can have a Dockerized based environment also which can support in these switches. And if we talk about this is the specification, I will be attaching this specification of these devices in the video link, so you can go through it. And also, if you want to go and see that more, devices. Look here, this is the more devices you have. Currently, the latest one is Spectrum 4, which is SN500 devices. They are capable of handling the 800 gigabyte per second interface, which is very unique in the market. No one in the industry uh, they support the 800 gig. We do have some devices which can support the 400 gig from the Cisco and Arista switches, but not in the 800 gigabit. Okay, and these are the some different model which Cisco, Nvidia provides that you can configure these switches as a, for example, leaf and spine topology, which you're gonna take, and these are the some specification, how many nets you entry you can have, access list, workflow, port bandwidth, and these are the like there are multiple models, right? In 5000 series, which is how many ports you need, what's your requirement of the port, what is the packet requirement, maximum throughput requirement, the port requirement. for different model, right? So this is the future of networking. You cannot ignore the Nvidia networking because as I given you the job description also, we have already in the market where we have been asked for the AI based network switches experience, because though these switches are the new hardwares are new, but still we have to really think about and prepare ourselves with these kind of devices. But in terms of the topology, how it looks like, I will show this. This is the NVIDIA. I have created one topology. Okay, leaf and spine switches. In the next session, I will be showing you this how these operating system looks like of these leaf and spine switches, and how we have configured the protocol on these switches. So stay tuned. I will be showing you the practical or the CLI console access of these devices, how they looks, how what command it works. If you see that all these, so protocol wise, everything wise same. Just few things will be changing, which I will be covering in the session. Uh, Stay tuned. We'll see you in next session. Thanks for watching.